This afternoon in Atlanta, a 40-year-old goalkeeper playing in the second division of Portuguese football woke up with 50,000 Instagram followers. He went to bed with 2.2 million. In between, he made 7 saves against Spain, the reigning European champions, the pre-tournament favorites, the team with Lamine Yamal's face on billboards across the entire city of Atlanta. Spain had 27 shots. They generated 2.29 expected goals. By every number that exists in modern football, they should have scored at least twice. They got nothing. And when the final whistle blew, Vozinha, Josimar José Evora Dias, held back tears while his teammates piled on top of him. Cape Verde's first ever World Cup match, their first ever World Cup point, and the man in the middle of it was a 40-year-old journeyman whose professional career did not even start until he was 25. This is that story. Start with where Cape Verde actually is, because most people watching this tournament have only a vague idea. Cape Verde is an archipelago of 10 islands sitting in the Atlantic Ocean, roughly 350 miles off the coast of West Africa. Population 600,000. To give you a frame of reference, that is smaller than the city of Memphis, Tennessee. The entire nation fits inside one mid-sized American metro area. Their national football team has existed since 1982. They made their Africa Cup of Nations debut in 2013, which was considered a significant milestone. Before today, they had never played in a World Cup, not once in 44 years of international football. They were drawn into Group H alongside Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. When the draw happened, most analysts moved on within the same sentence. Cape Verde were not a story. They were a number in the group table. Then Vozinha saved a shot off the crossbar with his boot in the first half, and the whole conversation changed. Vozinha was born on June 3, 1986 on the island of São Vicente. His full name is Josimar José Evora Dias. The nickname came from his grandparents because he was raised by them, not his parents. His father was in military service when he was born. His mother had to work, so his grandparents raised him, and the name they called him was Vozinha, meaning little grandma in Portuguese. He hated it at first. He said publicly that he went crazy over it. But when he moved to Angola to begin his professional career at 25 years old, a full decade after most top-level goalkeepers have already been playing professionally, he had a decision to make. Another goalkeeper at the club was also named Josimar. He was not going to put Josimar II on his shirt, so the name he had been given by his grandparents on a small island in the Atlantic became the name on the back of his jersey, and that is what it has been ever since. His professional career reads like a geography lesson. He started at CS Mindelense in Cape Verde, then Progresso in Angola, his first move abroad, then Zimbru Chisinau in Moldova, then Gil Vicente in Portugal, then AEL Limassol in Cyprus, where he stayed for 5 years and logged 116 club appearances, then Trencin in Slovakia, and finally back to Portugal to GD Chaves, a club currently playing in Liga Portugal 2, the second division. That's where he is now. That's the club he'll go back to when this tournament ends. Angola, Moldova, Portugal, Cyprus, Slovakia. 5 countries, 6 clubs, never once at a level that most football fans follow. He made his international debut for Cape Verde in 2012, racked up 90 caps across 14 years, and played in 4 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. At various points, he thought about walking away from the national team entirely. He said publicly he continued because of this dream. He turned 40 years old 2 weeks before the World Cup started. Now, here's what Spain brought into that stadium today. Lamine Yamal is 17 years old and currently the best footballer on the planet. He won Euro 2024 with Spain at 16, became the youngest player to score in a European Championship final, and arrived in Atlanta with his image on skyscrapers and billboards from the airport to the stadium. Pedri, Marc Cucurella, Mikel Oyarzabal, Ferran Torres. This is a squad that won back-to-back European Championships in 2024 and came into this tournament ranked among the top 2 or 3 favorites to lift the trophy. Yamal started on the bench. He has been nursing a hamstring injury, and the coaching staff decided to ease him in. Without him, Spain looked flat, ponderous, unable to unlock a defense that dropped deep and suffocated every passing lane. But flat is a relative term when you are generating 27 shots and 2.29 expected goals. They had a wide-open chance in the 39th minute. A looped ball down the left, a one-on-one with Ferran Torres, 6 yards from goal. Torres kicked the ball off the crossbar. The rebound popped into the air. Oyarzabal headed it toward the net. It was already moving. He pushed himself off the ground, leaped into the air for a second time, and palmed the ball over the bar. That was one play. He made 7 saves in total, 6 of them from inside the box. His SOFA score rating at full time was 9.7. Man of the match. It wasn't close. Yamal finally came on in the 71st minute, and the crowd felt it immediately. ESPN reported you could tangibly feel his absence from the atmosphere before he arrived. The sort of observation you only make about the absolute elite. He made 5 dribbles in 19 minutes, more than any Spanish player had managed all game. He set up Mikel Merino's best chance of the night. Cape Verde's goalkeeper Vozinha held firm. 0-0, final whistle. The man who grew up with his grandparents in São Vicente, who turned pro at 25, who played in Angola and Moldova and Cyprus and Slovakia, and the Portuguese second division, who thought about retiring from international football and kept going, that man held Spain scoreless for 90 minutes in the biggest game Cape Verde has ever played. The numbers that came after the match tell you everything about the moment's scale. He became the oldest goalkeeper in World Cup history to keep a clean sheet on debut. He became only the second goalkeeper age 40 or older to make at least 7 saves in a World Cup match since 1966. He joined Peter Shilton and Dino Zoff as the only goalkeepers age 40 or older ever to blank a team at this tournament. Shilton and Zoff are 2 of the most decorated goalkeepers who ever lived. Vozinha plays for GD Chaves in Liga Portugal 2. The Instagram number says the rest. 50,000 followers is a decent local celebrity in football terms. A club keeper in a mid-table second division side, known at home, capped internationally. 2.2 million is a global phenomenon that happened in an afternoon. In his post-match interview with Fox Sports, he was asked why he was holding back tears at the final whistle. His answer, "I work all my life for this moment, for this dream. A lot of generations in the past were dreaming with this. They did not achieve." Read that again. A lot of generations in the past were dreaming with this. They did not achieve. He is not talking about himself. He is talking about every Cape Verdean who came before him and never got to see their country on this stage. He carried 44 years of that with him into the goal today and kept it clean for 90 minutes. One more thing worth sitting with. Spain's World Cup record since 2010, the year they finally lifted the trophy, is 0 knockout wins. They lost to Chile and the Netherlands in the group stage in 2014. They lost to Russia on penalties in the round of 16 in 2018. They lost to Morocco on penalties in the round of 16 in 2022. They arrived in Atlanta as European champions with the most talented squad in the tournament, with Lamine Yamal's face on every surface in the city, and a 40-year-old goalkeeper from the Portuguese second division, raised by his grandparents on a small Atlantic island, representing a country of 600,000 people making their World Cup debut, held them to nothing. He told you himself. He worked all his life for that moment. On Monday afternoon in Atlanta, in Cape Verde's first ever World Cup game, he got it.